Ever wonder what it would be like to travel through one of the most remote areas remaining in the lower 48? Come and find out as we drive for several days on the Magruder Trail. The Magruder Corridor was once the Nez Perce Trail, used by the Native Americans, the Nez Perce that inhabited this area, way back in the 1800s and beyond. Looks like a fun adventure. Just read the sign. Narrow mountain road, no services for 113 miles. Approximately 8 hours driving time, but we're going to take a little longer. Axe, shovel, and bucket essential at all times. Caution. Early snows might close this road at any time. Proceed at your own risk. Drive with caution. There's our sign, and there's our dirt road. A dirt road that we'll be on for 100 miles or more. So strap yourself in. We're going for a wild ride through some wild country. Let's go. Start of the Magruder Trail. Down the corridor we go. Let's see where this thing takes us and what we might find. Looks like we're heading into big country already. Big trees, big mountains. Getting pretty woodsy right through here. Nice forest. Here's a look inside the forest. A little meadow by the side of the road adds a little touch of color with the wildflowers. Flowers such as these yarrow. If you eat the leaves, they're actually a good intestinal tonic. I think these are asters. If you don't like it, kiss my aster. The bumblebees seem to like it. Something up ahead at the right. Yellow something. Huh, looks like water is in those, maybe for stock. Looking back, past those water tanks, fire activity ahead. So I don't know if it has something to do with a fire out here somewhere. You've heard of signs on the road? Well, this sign is literally on the road. Heavy truck traffic. So heavy, in fact, that the trucks probably ran right over it. These are the flowers of fireweed. The reason they call it fireweed is because after a burn, these things tend to grow in pretty quickly. Also, fireweed is edible. You can just take these leaves right here. You can eat them raw, or steam them and cook them and whatnot. Sometimes they're a little bit bitter, but they're not too bad with some butter or garlic or something like that. Had a nice little lunch break up here at Mountain Meadows. It's at an elevation of about 6,400 feet. Thunderstorms are coming. Here we go, down the Magruder Corridor in central Idaho. Get ready for a bumpy ride. Looks like we're entering a burn area. I don't know when this fire came through, but it looks fairly extensive. Oftentimes in this region they just let the fires go because there's wilderness areas and it's just part of nature. Having fires, just a natural cycle. It shows some of the charred trees out there. Goes for quite a ways. But in between are living trees. Interesting. So I found a campground out here, and it's a pretty laid-back region. You can tell from the stay limit. The stay limit here is forever. Bordering some of this corridor we're going through are wilderness areas, such as the River of No Return wilderness. And thanks to guys like Frank Church, there is wilderness. Guys like him who love the outdoors and wanted to preserve some of the beauty for all the rest of us. That fireweed I mentioned, you can see how it comes in and fills in the burned areas rather rapidly. It's pretty much the only thing growing right now here. Now here's a plant I like, Huckleberries. Yeah, these tasty little treats. Just pick them right off and eat them right up. Yum yum. Good stuff. A little handful of huckleberries makes the world seem a little better. Beautiful little butterflies on the flowers. Looks like a yellow sulfur butterfly, maybe. This looks like a fritillary butterfly. Pretty little thing. There's another one. Close up for you. Are you getting a buzz off this? I sure hope so. I know this little guy is. Gathering that pollen and nectar. These little guys are buzzing along too. After the ashes from the fire, life returns. Some pretty red berries on this bush. I can't exactly recall what this bush is. Through the remainder of the charred trees, you can get a little bit of a glimpse out to the distant mountains. Going through the starkness of one of the burned areas here. But because of the burn, there were all those flowers in the other areas. With the forest burned, the ground is more open to the sunlight, which enables the flowers and other plants to grow more readily. It looks like the fire burned a lot of acreage, as you can see. Coming up to some ruts in the road. Don't get stuck. We'll just drive right over it. This is what it looks like from about 20 miles in. Still in the burn area. Those thunderclouds never materialized. They had a little bit of bluster, but they couldn't muster any rain. A different kind of flower here. Pretty yellow color. Now here's another kind of berry. Saskatoon Berries. I like these guys. Little blue guys right here. Pretty tasty. More berries. Some people call them service berries, I believe. If that's the case, I thank you for your service of satisfying my stomach. These ones right here aren't quite ripe yet. Here's a tasty little treat in the wilderness. Thimble Berries. If you like sweet tarts, these guys are kind of good. A little bit of a sour punch to them, but yeah, they're pretty tasty. I like them. Let's have a look at the leaf. These leaves, when they're young, if you're out in the wilderness and you run out of toilet paper, they kind of got a softness to them. You can use them for that. There's another berry. Snagging that one. Good. A lot of berries up here. More huckleberries, yay! Yum, yum. Here's yet another kind of berry. I'm not sure what kind of berry, but I'm sure I'm not going to eat them. I think they look kind of toxic. These guys look like elderberries. You can't eat too many of them raw, but you can make jam, jelly, wine out of them. They're okay once they're cooked. A lot of fireweed here in this region. Lots and lots of it. Day's end brings us to Poet Creek, a beautiful little nook here in the forest with a stream nearby. I'll show you a shot of the stream. Now that's a beautiful little creek, isn't it? Just have a look around. Tonight, this is my little piece of paradise. Now this place is called Poet's Creek. It's for the hardy, not for the meek. But if it's adventure that you seek, it is adventure that I speak. So come on down and camp with me. You never know what you will see. I think you will find ecstasy here in Poet Creek. It's not too cold, but a fire is always nice. Although we are at 4,900 feet or more, just slightly over, I believe, maybe 4,970 elevation. So I would expect it will get a little bit chilly tonight. It'll make that fire seem that much nicer. The sun is set and night is approaching. There's only the sound of the river. And the crackle of the campfire. It's day 2, Nez Perce Trail, Magruder Corridor. Let's see what we can find today. Doing a quick little morning hike here, just out of the Poet Creek Campground, up a little trail. Here's what the country looks like. It's called the Benjamin Creek Trail. It's a pine marten, rare to see. Mid-August, but fall is not far away. The colors are already coming into the leaves here on some of the plants. Taking my tent down, I found this little guy roaming around. Here we go again, leaving Poet Creek and heading up a hill. Road's getting a little bit rougher now, a little more rocky, a little more rutted. Up and up and up we go. Bouncing around to the top. See where this thing takes us. The road's getting a little more rutted, as you can see. This is not a road for the timid. Here's a look as we go past those ruts. Big, nice, deep ruts. Crikey, mate. Big ruts up ahead. And no worries, we'll drive right over them. Yeah, let's go. Look at that big bad boy rut right there. Ah. Right, we've got some more ruts ahead there. No worries, mate. Should be right. We just go right over to the side here. And a little bouncy bouncy. Look at that nice fireweed, ah? Good stuff. Beautiful country, eh? Now there's a bush loaded with huckleberries. Bears like these things too. Just like people do. But I like them. Little huckleberry stop. The road's getting a little more narrow now. The vegetation is closing in a bit. Looking back at the sign, yeah, that one there full of bullet holes. Yeah, we just came around the hairpin turn. So we're going through what is essentially a one-lane road now, through all this vegetation. There's really no room to maneuver if another vehicle comes up to us. And there's a big log right there. We're just going to have to maneuver around that a little bit. Right through it. Big log. Alright. Well, we got through that okay, no problem. Onward we go. A quick little viewpoint for you. Looking out to the distant mountain. The road's getting rockier now. It's already pretty narrow. There's some pretty good vistas out to the side. Looking out over all those hills. Up and up and up we go, up the rocky road. I don't know how much farther it is to the top, but looks like we're getting kind of close. Not even to the top yet, and the vistas are getting big. Time to take a little detour and go to the Burnt Knob Lookout. Check out what's up there. Rough, steep road, it says. Maintained for 4x4 vehicles only. Well, we'll just go as far as it looks good, and then I'll take a hike. So it got a bit rocky on the road for driving. So taking the hike, the remaining distance to the top. That sign looks like it's been here a long time. Well, look at that. It's the Burnt Knob Lookout, off in the distance. We're getting closer. And down below it, looking down the mountains, down, down, down below it are the Burnt Knob Lakes. Pretty. Here we are at the Burnt Knob Lookout. So let's go inside and see what's in this place. Well, have a look around. An old chair, some old cupboards. It's a little place, maybe 20 by 20, maybe not even that, maybe 15 by 15. This rustic bungalow is the perfect getaway. It has stunning views in every direction. You'll be impressed by the spectacular views of the landscape. Your lady, however, will not be impressed by the 100-foot walk down to the outhouse with no toilet paper. Nor will your lady be impressed with the 60-mile drive to the nearest gas and groceries. I'm not sure when this went out of service, but there's a wall of names carved along. People who have visited here through the years. Lots of names inscribed all over and inked as well. Have a look at that old writing. Joe Corbett, Lookout, 1946. Wow, could that one be from August? Looks like 19 or 10, 30? Are they talking 1930? Wow. So let's have one last look at the inside. You got the floors, wood cupboards, the wood beams up top. Looking up to the ceiling. Look at this stunning view from up here. Just gonna do a sweeping panoramic view. Go a full 180 or more right here. This is some big country out here. Big and wide open. Continuing along with the view from behind, looking out over the landscape. Looking down from the cliff face that the lookout's perched on, down toward the lakes. There's our lookout right there. Hey dude, get in the tower. You're supposed to be watching out for fires. Yeah, you. You're our lookout now. Get cracking. Is that all you're gonna do? You're gonna just sit there and eat? Yeah, I should have figured that much. Alright, you have your lunch. Enjoy, buddy. That's a sheer drop right there. And it doesn't stop till you get down to the lakes. And there's our road. Out there in the distance, I don't know if you can see that little tiny, skinny, slender thread. But right, I think it's right about there. Alright, left the car behind at the dry saddle. And there's a trailhead there. So I'm taking this little trail. It's supposed to lead to some lakes. So we'll see. I'm in the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, and there are a couple of lakes down there. There's my trail boss right there. What say you, Chippermonk? Not much. Very stoic kind of guy. I left the trail a ways back. There didn't appear to be a trail going right down to these lakes, so I just went straight on down. I probably won't go right to the lake shore. It's getting a little bit late in the day. I just wanted to have a look and just see, how the lakes looked. They look pretty. Heading back toward the car on the trail that went near the lakes. You can barely see the little thread of road right out there. A tiny thread in a vast wilderness. A little cooler up here at 7,900 feet. Let's have a look at the vista. This is the vista view from Dry Saddle. There's our elevation, 7920. And right below it, some advice. Beware of Bigfoot and clowns. Advice indeed. Back on the road, the narrow road. One lane, basically, going downhill, bumping our way along through the rocks. A bit of a drop down there to my right. Quite an edge, quite a drop off. I'm sure a tree or two might stop us if we went over, but we're not shooting for that. There's a shot of the road where we'll be going. That skinny little thread, that little line going up the side of that mountain. This little guy's wondering, what are we doing? Who is this? Not much room if another car comes along, and quite an edge out over there. Getting up quite high again. Now as I pan across here, you can see the sparkle of lakes in the distance, and those two lakes over here that I walked to. So as you can see, there's a deer right over my shoulder. Great way to start day 3 on the Magruder Trail. Isn't she cute? Here's another little tasty treat of the wild. These little plants grow what are like miniature huckleberries, kind of like ground huckleberries, but I don't know if that's what they're actually called. But yeah, they're just tiny little things. Takes a lot of work to get a handful of those. Not far off the main road was a little side road, and we discovered this little gem. A hand-carved log bringing spring water. So I'm gonna fill up right here. What a beauty. Right from a pure source. Fresh, cool drinking water coming right out of the earth. Delicious. A rare treat. Third day on the Nez Perce Trail, Magruder Corridor, and the first big view. After camping where we met the deer, we're up here. Nice panoramic vista. Looks like we're coming into a rocky bit here. Serious boulders up ahead to the side of the road. Have a look down there. And up here. Hey, chipmunk crossing the road. There you go. Alright, let's look at those big boulders. Ah, another chipmunk going across the road. It's the land of chipmunks and big boulders. There's a little pika. They scurry around the rocks. They've got their little dens in between the rocks. Oh, there he goes. Must have heard me. There he goes again. Zoom, zoom. So this rockfall area is popular with chipmunks and pikas. Plenty of places for them to make their dens and hibernate through the long, cold winters. Some pretty wildflowers growing between the rocks. And hey, there's our pika again. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of animal this is right here. He's digging right in the road itself. Here's a look at Shovel Creek, just off the road. Pretty little thing. All right, out of the car again. Hiking up to the Salmon Lookout. Fire Lookout. Apparently, it's active and there are people there. We'll find out. There's a grouse hidden in the trees there. Being very, very still, which is what they do. Far below the lookout are some nice little lakes. And another lake directly below the lookout, right down there. Coming up to the Salmon Mountain Lookout, elevation 8944. That's pretty high up there. Hey, and there's our lookout right now. His name is Ruger. Hi, Ruger. So, spot any fires today? No? Okay. You want to show me what it looks like inside? Oh, okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so this is what an active fire lookout looks like. Got a great view, 360, right in this area. Beautiful views, every direction. You see for probably 40 miles or so. And then you've got your stove, your little table and chair. Got your wood stove, pots, pans, firewood, that kind of thing. So Ruger's really smart. You see, he reads a lot. And so he's as smart as a border collie, if not more so. Yeah, he was a little slow with the firefinder, but he finally caught on. And this is where Ruger sleeps. And he likes to backpack sometimes too. In fact, he can even tell the time. Likes to listen to the radio. So this is his little setup, and there's a little dispatch radio right there. And little walkie-talkies. Hey, Ruger. Like to use binoculars on occasion too. Well, thanks for the tour, Ruger. Appreciate it. You have a great day. We'll see you later, bud. Okay. All right, heading back down from the fire lookout. And this is the view. Nice. And looking down to the lakes. There you go. Beautiful country. There's the lookout from afar. Maybe you can see it right about there. So Ruger tells me he'll be up there for the next 5 days. He says it's usually writers, artists, photographers, and loner types who don't want to talk on camera that man these stations. They bring some of their supplies up. They got propane and all that. There's a spring for water not far down from the lookout, above the lake there. So Ruger, in his spare time when not looking for fires or sitting up there in that lookout, he likes to chase grouse and chipmunks. And he's fine with withdrawn humans as long as they take him for walks or throw a ball or something like that. Let's have a look. Now that's a view. A big, big, big view. Nice meadows nearby. Heading back downhill. Looks like we may be coming into some kind of valley. At a little pullout, there's a sign telling about the Magruder Massacre. Lloyd Magruder and his party were murdered and robbed in October 1863 on the Nez Perce Trail. A popular route in the Gold Rush days, the trail linked Lewiston, Idaho with Virginia City, Montana. It is located on the main ridge across the draw. The massacre site is 3 miles directly northeast of here. Walking distance is 5.5 miles by trail. So there's our road, and you can see it snaking off into the distance and on down, 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 down. When driving along, always be aware of natural hazards across the road, like this tree that fell down. Why did the grouse cross the road? Well, that one's not going to be answered right now. I'm not sure why somebody would cut down a big, beautiful, old-growth tree like this. And there it is. Cut and left in the river. It looks to be old growth. Probably about 200 or more years old. You can get an idea just how big this thing is. Comes up to about here on me. Down by the river apparently means good Saskatoon berries. Yeah, good snacking time. In addition to the Saskatoon berries, there's also hawthorn berries, which are edible as well. I don't like them quite as much as the Saskatoons. They got a harder, larger seed in them. But they're still, alright to eat. Yeah, true that. Road subject to periodic closure due to heavy snows. Looks like we've just crossed what I think might be the Selway River, or possibly Deep Creek. So we took a little tiny side trip off the main road, maybe about a half a mile, to the Magruder Ranger Station, and I was surprised to see this. Yeah, a helicopter way out here. Well, at least they keep it in the corral. Some interesting buildings here look to be historic. Another look at a building. A really old sign on the side of that, and yet a few more buildings here. Another building, and some corrals. This is the National Forest Service's mosquito breeding pond. Lots and lots of mosquito larvae. And just look at them all. Thousands of them. They're doing a great job here at the U.S. Forest Service with their breeding programs for mosquitoes. No smoking, it says above that door. That's right, you horses. Kick the habit. Get off that nasty nicotine. And mules, you're no exception. An old cabin in the woods. That's the tail end of a rubber boa. A little docile snake. So I don't know if you can see it right there. I don't know that I really want to pull him out of there and bother him. But there he goes. Don't eat these guys. These are snowberries. These plants right here, these things, yeah, those are horsetail. And they're not very good to eat taste-wise, but you can chew on them and get the silica out of them. And what's more likely is you could use them for a pot scrubber. They've got kind of a rough edge on them all around. And you can also use them if you get in a wilderness situation where you're in a bit of a survival episode. You can use them to brush your teeth. Now these blueberries right here, these are Oregon grape. And while you can eat them raw, they're really kind of sour and not that tasty. People do make jelly and jams out of them though. And, you know, you add sugar and cook them up. It's pretty good, apparently, that's what I've been told. There's some pretty birds up there. They look to be a type of waxwing. There's a woodpecker going at it. Woodpecker looking for some beetle larvae or whatever's in that tree. Tap, tap, tapping away this morning. Another woodpecker. It's day 4 on the Nez Perce Magruder. This will be the last day before we reach so-called civilization again. It's a pretty chilly morning. It's getting down into the 40s at night, even though it is the middle of August. But we're at fairly high elevation, not as high as we were yesterday. Right here by the stream, nice little stream. It's about maybe 4,700 elevation. So, looking forward to another good day. Hope we're going to have some fun. Let's go! The road's looking a little smoother today. Not as rocky, not as rutted. Hey, look, an actual car coming. Imagine that. That sign's a bit of an understatement. Getting toward Montana here, very, very close. Here's a sign, big warning. Travel at your own risk. Oh yeah, so true. Looking into the heart of Idaho from near the edge of Montana. All right, right now I'm in Idaho. And here's Montana Nez Perce Pass separating the two states. So I'm creeping on into Montana. But we're not done yet. We've still got some miles. We're still on the Magruder. So let's keep going. There's a couple of signs up here explaining some of the champions of wilderness, such as Frank Church here, and talking about Doris Milner. Just a few miles into Montana, and there's a sign at the side of the road. It's a historical site. James Curley, age 66, Bitterroot pioneer, died here on November 21st, 1921. He staked one of the first homesteads of the valley on Tin Cup Creek in 1896. In fall and winter, he worked a placer claim and trapped in the Deep Creek area. He was on his way alone from Deep Creek to spend Thanksgiving with his family when he encountered a severe snowstorm. When but a mile from his destination, his heart failed from overexertion. Sad story. Didn't make it for Thanksgiving. Here's the view today from the road. Another beautiful day here. Have a look at what's at the side. Looking out to the hills and forest. Pretty country, pretty landscapes. And a look at the other side as well. Wow, looks like we're coming up to pavement on the other side of this little bridge here. Could it be? I believe it is. Well, it looks like we've hit pavement once again. And you know what that means? I think we're at the end of the trail. So, at the end of the Nez Perce Magruder Corridor, and leaving the Bitterroot National Forest. Now remember, if you're going to do something like this, be prepared. Take plenty of water and food, camping gear, whatever you might need, and a spare full-size tire. Drive carefully. The rocks are dangerous, and you don't want to have any accidents or problems along the way. So just be safe and have fun. And remember, enjoy yourself. I hope you enjoyed the ride along the Magruder Corridor Nez Perce Trail. Until next time, this is Rockhopper. I'll see you again. Don't forget to subscribe. You keep on subscribing, and I'll keep taking you on fun and wild rides just like this one.